Good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending. My name is Jared Yagjian. I am a sales agent at Liberty Mutual Insurance and a graduate Northeastern class of 2005. So today what we are here to talk about is just a general introduction to auto insurance and also discussing the alumni benefit that Liberty Mutual offers to all Northeastern alumni. Okay, so the Auto 101 is going to give us a brief introduction to auto insurance. I'm going to walk through your coverage page or declaration page and discuss some of the core coverages, such as liability, collision, comprehensive, which is referred to as other than collision. We're also going to explore some additional coverages and optional coverages. Of course, we'll talk about the Liberty Mutual discounts that are available, and we'll review the benefits of having your coverage with Liberty Mutual. So first off, we all know that we need to have auto insurance. Choosing the right insurance coverage can be confusing. It's not something that we deal with on a daily basis. It's something that we hope, we keep our fingers crossed that we have the right coverage when we need it. And it's my job as your personal agent to make sure that we are giving you the coverages that you need. So in the event of a loss, you are protected the right way. So some of the basic questions whenever auto insurance comes up as a topic is, how does the coverage differ between a collision, hitting another car, or something like a tree or a falling object hitting your car? We'll touch on that. Of course, we'll touch on our damages covered by flood, water damage, fire, even hail or storm damage, as well as if your car is stolen, how is your car covered in those types of losses. And then we'll also discuss if you're covered in an accident, if you're at fault, or if someone gets seriously injured. So what parts of your policy actually protect you, protect your vehicle, and protect your liability interest. So I wanted to just mention right off the bat, the reason why we're here is because of the partnership that Liberty offers to Northeastern alumni. As a Northeastern alum in Massachusetts, you automatically receive a discount of 8% off of your car insurance and 5% off of any type of home insurance product. And when we talk about home insurance, it's not just single families, of course it's multifamilies, condominiums, as well as renters insurance policies and rental policies if you are a landlord. Today obviously it's about auto insurance, but if you have questions about home insurance specifically, at the end you'll have my contact information and you can reach out and we can discuss your questions. Now obviously discounts and savings are available where state law and regulation allow, and the discount may vary from state to state. So in Mass what we have is 8 and 5 at this current time. So I know we asked some of you if you could to be prepared with your coverage page or declarations page, and this is a copy of the current Massachusetts auto insurance declarations page from Liberty Mutual. So you'll see that there's a lot of information on the first page. It'll give you information as to who the policyholder is. It'll give the address information. It'll also give you vehicles that are covered, as well as your annual premium and how much coverage for each type of, how much limit for each type of coverage you actually have. And a couple of those are bullet pointed, and we'll get into those in a little bit more detail. So understanding your policy limits is usually the most difficult thing for people. Liability coverage is one thing that people are always questioning, how much coverage do I need? What's the right amount of coverage to protect the assets that I have in place? And it varies from one person to the next. So there's not a one-size-fits-all type of policy. It's very customized to what your needs are because all of our needs are different. So in Massachusetts, there are 12 parts of coverage. The first 4 are compulsory. They're required by the state. So Mass is one of those states where auto insurance is required. You cannot register a vehicle unless you have insurance in place. And I know we have people from about 9 or 10 states, and state laws vary. For example, a couple of you are from New Hampshire. Auto insurance is not required in New Hampshire, so your coverage page will look a little bit different. But in Massachusetts, these are the basic parts of coverage that you have to carry if you're going to register a vehicle. So the first part is bodily injury. It's a liability coverage, and it covers at a per person and per accident basis. And I'll get into a little bit more detail on your liability coverage when we go down to Parts 3 and Parts 5. Part 2 is your personal injury protection. This covers up to $8,000 per person in Massachusetts. It's a standard coverage. You can't remove it. You cannot increase it. And this covers your own personal injury or your passenger's personal injury. It also covers things like lost wages if you're injured in an accident. So Part 3 is where we see our first bullet. This is bodily injury caused by an uninsured auto. And this is a per person and a per accident limit. And on the right side of the screen, you can see that in this case, the per person limit is $100,000 and the per accident limit is $300,000. So you might be saying, what does that mean to me, and how does this work, and is that the right coverage? And it may or may not be the right coverage for you, but how it works is if you are at fault in an accident and the other vehicle has passengers in it and they're all injured and they sue you, and that case would have, and your policy would provide up to $100,000 per person and $300,000 per accident for that incident. You'll also see Part 4 is damage to someone else's property, and that's bullet pointed as well. And this covers any damage that you could cause to property owned by someone else. It could be their vehicle, it could be a telephone pole, it could be a guardrail, a fence that you slid into. Anything that's owned by someone else is covered by this limit, and in this case we're showing at $100,000. You can see that next to the coverage it also shows a dollar amount. And that's a premium, and that's a per vehicle premium. So the first column is vehicle 1 on the policy, and the second column is vehicle 2 on the policy. The cost is going to vary slightly depending on the age and value of the vehicle, but you can see in most cases it's pretty similar as to what the cost is. Some of you are probably going to have questions on this, and that's fine. If you can, jot them down or send them into the message chat, and we'll get to them at the end of the slide when we're taking questions. So here we go, test our knowledge. We'll see who's paying attention and who's not. Molly mentioned that there are some giveaways, so it would be great if everybody can participate in this. So the first question is, what does liability coverage pay for? And we have 5 options here. So the first, damage to my car if I cause a crash. B, damage to my car if an object like a tree falls on it. C, damage to the property of others or injury to passengers in another car if I cause the crash. D, injuries to passengers in my car, or E, my car is stolen. So I'll give you a moment, and we'll get to the next screen with the correct answer. See, some people are listening. That's great. All right, correct answer is C. Damage to the property of others or injury to passengers in another car if I cause a crash. That's correct. So the main part of your liability, or at least the part that most people are concerned with, is your optional bodily injury. That's the part that pays out if someone sues you. Now Parts 3 and 12, if you have a coverage page in front of you, protect you against someone who doesn't have insurance, and it also protects you from someone who doesn't have enough insurance to pay damages if they are at fault and you're injured or people in your car are injured. So your car insurance policy actually protects your own personal assets if you're sued, and it also protects you from paying out of pocket if someone else injures you and their policy doesn't cover you appropriately. So the next part of our coverage is really the part that if you ask someone about their car insurance, they're going to say, I have a $500 deductible. So this is the physical damage coverage of your policy. The first part that we're going to talk about is collision coverage. And collision covers damage to your vehicle resulting from a crash. So it doesn't matter who's at fault, but it pays out the actual cash value of your car minus your deductible. So in this case, you can see Part 7 of the policy is collision, and it reads actual cash value less deductible, and Vehicle 1 has a $500 deductible, and Vehicle 2 has a $500 deductible. So what that means is if you're at fault, the first $500 is your responsibility. And there's a premium associated with each car, and again you can see that that varies slightly. Of course, that's based on the age and value of the car itself. And then you'll also see highlighted where it says waiver of deductible endorsement provisions apply. And what this means is your deductible is actually waived if you're not at fault, meaning you're not out of pocket any amount if someone else hits you and they're at fault for the accident. So again, the only time that you would be out of pocket your deductible is if you were at fault and you were the reason that the crash or the accident happened. The next part of coverage that we're going to talk about is Part 9, and it reads as other than collision. A lot of times this is referred to as comprehensive coverage, and comprehensive or other than collision covers losses resulting from incidents that are not an accident, so not a car-to-car or a car to a stationary object, but something as if your car is damaged by a flood, a fire. Of course, if it's vandalized, that's covered as well. And if your car is stolen, that other than collision is how your vehicle is covered. And again, this is an actual cash value less the deductible, and there is, in this case, a $300 deductible for each vehicle and a premium associated with that. Now you will see next to the deductible amount, on this policy it shows $300, and it will say 0 for glass. And what that means is the glass is covered by other than collision as well. So if your windshield chips or your glass, your passenger side window is broken, this is what actually covers the glass, and there's not a cost out of pocket for you. All right, test your knowledge. Second question. Again, this is for some giveaways, so I hope everyone's listening. What does other than collision coverage pay for? A, my car is stolen. B, a rock hits my windshield. C, my car is vandalized. D, my car is damaged when I accidentally hit a deer. Or E, all of the above. We'll take a moment and see who can get it right. A lot of fast responses, faster than the first question. That's great. One more minute here. We'll see if everybody can get their answer in, and then we'll move on. All right, correct answer is E, all of the above. So other than collision coverage is going to protect you against all of those types of incidents. You know, it's going to cover your glass, it's going to cover if something falls in your car, it's also going to cover you if your vehicle is stolen. The deer one, a lot of people come up with the deer one, especially around here. You know, if your vehicle is involved in an incident with a deer, that is also going to be covered by other than collision. I see there's a question, how much of a deductible should you have? And again, this is one that we're going to touch on at the end, but it really varies and it depends on what you're comfortable with being out of pocket. Again, we'll go over it. It's going to be a little bit different for collision in the comprehensive or other than collision. So we'll get into a little bit more detail towards the end of the show. Some of the additional coverages in Massachusetts, at least, are medical payments coverage, uninsured motorists, and underinsured motorists. Now, I touched already on the uninsured and underinsured motorists when I talked about your liability. The medical payments coverage covers medical payments to others, meaning passengers in your vehicle if you're involved in an accident. So there is, it's an optional coverage. You can carry it or you don't have to carry it, and there are different limits that we provide starting at $5,000. And it covers medical expenses or payments for someone in your vehicle that's injured in the event of an accident. Some of the most common optional coverages that our policyholders carry, especially in Massachusetts, it's really important, and I know looking through the other states that are here, I'm sure it's just as important in your location as well, but this time of year, roadside assistance is being used by a lot of policyholders, and it's a very low-cost option to have on your policy. You know, it's 24-hour assistance, and it covers the cost of towing. It also covers the cost of labor, so if your vehicle is you know, you get a flat tire, it's going to cover the cost of having a tow service come out and fix the flat tire. Now, if they can't fix it, or if they don't have the equipment you know, or it's not a safe location to fix it, then they're going to tow you to a safe location or tow you to one of our certified repair shops. Rental car coverage is also a coverage that I always recommend, and this covers you if you cannot use your car due to a covered loss, meaning an accident, whether it's a collision or a comprehensive claim. This would reimburse you for the cost of substitute transportation. Now, the majority of us drive our own car, we commute, and it makes a difficult situation if one car in the household is down, and this is an easy and inexpensive way to have rental car reimbursement on your policy, so you're not out of pocket for a rental car in the event of a claim. So discounts. We all know that insurance is discount-based. You can't turn the TV on without seeing a commercial for a car insurance that doesn't talk about discounts. And Liberty Mutual is no different. We offer a number of discounts. Some of them are exclusive, like the Northeastern Alumni discount, and some of them are everybody qualifies for, like your multi-policy or multi-car discounts. We also have preferred payment method discounts. So if you use an electronic or a paperless option, you're going to get a credit for that. It's just our way of giving back and saying thank you for not having us generate a bill. There's also hybrid vehicle discounts and vehicle safety feature discounts. So if you have an alarm system in your car, and even if it's just your factory alarm system, you would get a credit for that. If you have OnStar or a LoJack where it's a recovery system, there's an even greater discount that would qualify. And again, this would vary from state to state, but just about every state offers a variation of each discount. And combining discounts, again, we'll touch on that, and maybe I can get a little bit more detail about what you mean by that. But if you're asking, can you combine the Northeastern discount and the multi-policy and multi-car, the answer to that is yes. You could not combine a Northeastern discount and another Alumni Association discount. For those of you who are having teen drivers or new drivers on your policy, we have a couple exclusive things. We have a teen driver discount. We have a good student discount. And we also have a Teen Smart driving program discount, which can be very substantial off of the vehicle that your children are driving, and can save a lot of premium, and it helps avoid that sticker shock when you have a new driver in your policy. Another new discount available in Massachusetts in about 40 or 50% of the states that Liberty Mutual operates in is called Right Track. And this is a device that tracks your driving over a 90-day period. It's a guaranteed discount of at least 5%. You can earn up to an additional 25% for a total of 30% off of each car. And it's really cool. It tracks a couple of different things. It tracks how many miles you drive. It tracks your overnight driving. It tracks your rapid accelerating and rapid braking, and that's it. So we don't know where you go. It doesn't matter where you go, and you can earn a discount based on your safe driving. So for people who are outstanding drivers, like most of you are, this is going to give you an opportunity to gain even more of a discount and make your policy premium even more competitive. So the benefits of being with Liberty Mutual, I mean, where do I even begin, right? You get to work with somebody like me, and you get to partner with a company that your Alumni Association trusts and believes in. The big thing here is we're all local. So no matter where you are in the 9 states that people are attending from, there's a local office to you, an office where you can walk in and feel welcomed and talk to somebody who's licensed. Not only the sales agents are licensed, but also the service representatives are licensed. So that makes a big difference. It's not a company where you have to wait to hear back from somebody. When you call in, if you have a question, or you go to an office and you have a question, it gets answered because all of our representatives are licensed. Some of the things that we also provide benefits are accident forgiveness. In Massachusetts, for example, if you have a clean driving record, you automatically receive accident forgiveness as part of your policy at no charge. Some of the other benefits that we offer are new car replacement and lifetime repair guarantee. So if your car is in an accident, and unfortunately it's a total loss, and you have the new car replacement, or we also offer better car replacement, we would pay you out the actual cash value of your car, or even the actual cash value of your car one model year newer, and so you could actually replace that car and not have to worry about, am I going to be out of pocket? Did my car depreciate? I've only had it for a month. What do I do? Those things are coverages that we provide because we know they're important to you as the policyholders, and we know they're really important at the time of a loss when you worry about how you're going to pay for replacing your car. Our policies are all 12-month policies. You don't have to be concerned with a rate increase every 6 months, which a lot of companies that operate now in the states are doing 6-month policies. So you can be assured that that's not going to happen. We also have 24-hour claims assistance, so you're talking to a live person any time of the day, no matter where you are, you get a live person on the phone. And that we know is something very important. As an agent myself, I've been involved in accidents. I've had to use the roadside assistance. Being able to pick up the phone and call in and get someone live on the phone is very reassuring, and it makes you feel good. It doesn't matter what time of the day a loss happens. You feel comfortable knowing that there are people there to help assist you right when it happens. Some really new things and innovative things that Liberty Mutual is doing. We're always at the forefront, especially with electronic and mobile apps, and one of the big things is our core services app. So you can see on the slide it lets you do a number of things. Really the most important ones for just about everybody are viewing and managing your policy. You can also pay your bill. So you can see when your next bill is due. If you want to make an advance payment, you can make an advance payment. For states that have auto insurance ID cards, you can view them. You can even print them. If your phone is attached to a wireless printer, you can send it right from there. If you have a claim, you can report and track a claim right from your phone. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. You don't have to worry about, I'm not hearing back from a claims representative. I've called in twice. I'm not getting back from anybody. You can just log into your phone, check out the app, and see where the claims department is as far as handling your claim. You can even upload pictures of the damage of a claim. So this eliminates the whole process of bringing your car to an appraiser or having an appraiser come out to you. You can upload pictures once the claim is filed, and your claims representative will have access to all the information that you upload, and it'll give them a first-hand account of what's happening when it's happening. You can also search for repair shops and even schedule vehicle inspections. So if you need a repair shop, you can see the shops that we have vetted and are qualified as Liberty Mutual preferred vendors. A preferred Liberty Mutual shop, we guarantee the work that they do for the lifetime of you owning the car. Again, if you're in an accident and you're managing your claim, you can request a rental vehicle, and you can even check on payment status as to when we're paying you out for your loss. It's a really cool feature. A lot of my policyholders use it, and even though it eliminates some phone calls to me, it's great that they're able to have this service at their fingertips. So I know we covered a lot of material. We took just over 20 minutes. There's a lot of information that was provided. I know we have people from, like I said, 9 or 10 different states, so things are going to vary slightly. So we do have some questions. I think Molly here has been jotting some of them down. So at this point, we're going to jump into a couple of the questions, and if it's not completely answered, or if you still have an outstanding question, please just throw it in the chat, and we'll get to that, okay?
So I think, Jared, you actually covered 2 out of the 3 questions that were asked, but there was one kind of claims related. How does the insurance company figure out what a vehicle is valued at? Okay,
so that's a great question. There's a few different ways. I can speak to Massachusetts specifically and not other states. So if this came from out of state, I hope you bear with me, but it's going to be a similar process. So in Massachusetts, our claims representatives use a few different items to determine what a car is worth at the time of a loss. Okay, so we know what the car MSRP was, and we know roughly what the approximate depreciation is going to be year over year. We also factor in the condition of the vehicle, such as the mileage and the options that you had on the car when you purchased it, even though whether it was a new or used car. We'll factor in the actual options of the vehicle, and we'll see what it would take to replace a car a couple of different ways. In Mass, we use a couple of guides. There's the NADA guide. There's also a Kelley Blue Book, as well as seeing in the current market what similar vehicles, make, model, and mileage with options are going for at that time. Again, but it's a flexible thing. So if the claims department comes back and says your vehicle is worth $15,000, and you do, a quick search and you see that it might take $16,000 or $17,000 to replace your vehicle because the dealership in your town has the same car, that's negotiable. So that's something that your claims agent or claims representative is going to work with you on, and being able to provide some information as to why I think my car is worth a little bit more is very helpful. And the claims department is very flexible with that type of information, and will take as much information from you as possible in helping us pay out an accurate amount for you to replace your vehicle. Did that answer the question? I guess it did. Thank you. Any other questions at this time?
All right, so if we don't have any more questions, obviously Jared's contact information is up on the screen if you do want to contact him after this. Even if you're from another state and you want help, contacting a local sales representative, he can help you with that as well. So I just want to make sure at the end of this session, if you could please make sure that you log out and don't just X out of the window. That will make sure that we can close it out and get it recorded so that other people can view it. And we have a question from Jack. Is there a way to get the presentation? This presentation will be logged on our website, so you will be able to access it afterwards. You'll be able to see the slides, as well as hear Jared's questions and obviously everybody else's questions and answers.
Oh, one more question.
And we do have another question. What about insurance companies that say you can save 15%?
So that's a great question. I think that's probably the most popular insurance commercial that you see. You know, you can save 15% in 15 minutes. It's really skewed. Okay, so to put it just blunt out there, there's no way for any insurance company to say, you know, here you're paying $1,000. In 15 minutes, I can guarantee saving you 15%. There's a lot of things that go into it. And when you deal with a company that advertises like that, they're probably cutting some corners to get you that savings. When you deal with a company like Liberty Mutual, we're concerned about the right coverage for you. As much as I'd love to save everybody premium and money on their insurance, the most important thing to me is making sure you have the right coverage when you need it. So if there's savings, then that's great. If there's not, I understand that, but at the end of the day, I'm happy knowing that I provided you, or at least a quote, with the coverage that I think, after our discussion, makes the most sense for you. And why do insurance companies not give you the best deal, or do they, as a follow-up to that? So I firmly believe insurance companies do give you the best deal. You know, for the coverages that you are receiving, at least Liberty Mutual, that I can speak for, is giving you the best possible premium, and a premium that we know is fair. Fair up front, and also fair in order for us to be able to cover your vehicle in the event of a loss. So I can't, again, speak to another company, but in Massachusetts, we're very competitive on the auto insurance side of things. So you're in New Hampshire. Does Liberty Mutual work there? Yes, we have. Oh, and do you cover motorcycle and RVs? Yep, so a couple of follow-ups. All yeses. Yes, we do operate in New Hampshire. If you'd like to email me, I'm happy to give you a contact in New Hampshire that can assist you. And we do cover not just cars, but motorcycles, RVs, as well as other vehicles in New Hampshire. Did that answer that question for you? Great. So yes, you know, as a company, we can cover everything for you. That's a very good point, and I'm sure some of the other listeners are wondering the same thing. Of course, there's discounts for bundling. I already mentioned multi-policy and multi-vehicle, multi-car discounts, but the idea that Liberty Mutual can cover all of your insurance needs is very real. So yes, that is something we can do, so you can have one contact like myself in Mass, or someone, you know, my counterpart in another state. So again, my contact info is here, and if you have more specific questions about your own policies, it would be great if I could answer them, you know, one-on-one individually, whether we talk or whether we go back and forth via email. And I can obviously review your policies and give you rate quotes for Massachusetts. And again, if you're outside of Massachusetts, I can get you connected to one of my local counterparts.
All right, so if that is all for questions, again, any specifics, email Jared. If you're looking for a contact in another state, email him. He's more than happy to help you. And then everybody should have my contact as well from the registration. So if you have any questions Northeastern related, feel free to send me an email or give me a call as well.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it very much. I hope it was informative. I know it's a lot of information, and our car insurance or insurance in general is not something we deal with every day. And that's why I'm here. I want to be a resource for you, so please do not hesitate to reach out. Just pick up the phone or shoot me an email, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible to review your insurance needs. Thanks again. Hope you all have